Hello everyone. It's 9:53 a.m. I'm early for the next job, the permanent job. I'm over here now at the permanent job because the temporary job that I try to be independent and I try to be independent and I try to being less of a burden on everybody. You know, if people want to shun me for begging or whatever, being a homeless targeted individual. But as I said, in 2019, many of us were doing this, begging, asking for help to survive. And so I'm trying to not talk too loud. Um, and I got to use my phone data. So that's why I'm in the dark. And so I'm trying to not talk too loud. Um, so here's what happened. Okay, I spent so much time last night trying to take a bath and comb all my hair out and stuff. And then after I combed my hair out, it was pretty much midnight already. And it took me over 2 hours to take a bath and relax. And I don't even know how long because I forgot to bring my phone and put the timer on to monitor how much time I would have had for the Epsom salt bath. So my legs felt better after the Epsom salt bath. So I got out of the tub and stuff at like it was 12, somewhere about 12 after midnight, and probably about 12:10 or something. And I don't think I did a video in the middle of the night, not around 12 something, but I did a video. This morning around just before 3:45. So I tried to go to bed, try to go to sleep. It was 1:30. I was still twisting and turning and couldn't sleep. Could not fall into a deep sleep. And so I couldn't fall into a deep sleep. So the alarm went off at 3 o'clock this morning, and it was about 3:10 this morning. It was about 3:10 this morning when I more like 3:08 when I finally got up out of bed and got dressed. I didn't even I wanted to brush my teeth and groom my hair. Just trying to look better, and something else I was trying to do that I didn't get to do. And I was surprised that anybody was running around an Uber at 3 something in the morning, because I didn't think anybody would be operating Uber at 3 o'clock in the morning, because in the past, when I had a job where I had to get off from work at about 11 o'clock or midnight, or I don't remember when it was, probably 7 o'clock to 11 p.m. or something, with a part-time job in 2019, and it was so hard to try to get a cab or anything. And then I think it was this past year for Labor Day. I tried to get an Uber, and there was none. Nobody was available. I think I remember correctly. So anyway, so I already told y'all about the nice couple, but they smelled like, their car suffocated me with, strong weed smell. And the seatbelt didn't work properly, But So then I get to work the temp job. I get to the temp job, and then um I went to ask around for the manager. They said she wasn't there yet. So they told me to they told me that to go sit in the break room and that she wasn't gonna get there until 5 o'clock. So it was 4 o'clock. I went in there in the break room, and I kept. I mean, some guy had showed me where the office was. It was around 4 o'clock, but they said she wasn't gonna get there until 5. So I'm waiting around, and then 5 o'clock comes. Nobody comes, and I'm asking, "Well, are you Miss? Are you Miss Michelle? Are you Miss Michelle?" Asking for the manager. And so nobody. Some people just ignored me, and some people said, "No, I'm not Miss Michelle," whatever. And so then a little bit after 5:45 had passed, and I'm like, "Wait a minute now." So I went to try to see if she was there, and because I thought she was gonna come and get me, you know. So then she, was nice and pleasant at first, and then she just showed me immediately where the machines are and just had me working on the machines. And I felt like no way in hell can I operate on a dangerous machine like this, and I'm sleep deprived. But I tried what I could to strive. I mean, I had started working around a little bit after 5:45 in the morning, but I had been there since probably about 3:40 in the morning. But it was around close to 4 o'clock when I started asking around. Asking so asking for the manager or the job task or whatever. And so then so then I afterwards we were working for a while and putting these cloth restaurant napkins through a conveyor belt. And they had these signs saying that you will get your hands or your fingers will get cut off. So I tried to just take my time and be careful despite me being sleep deprived due to the gang stalking and the direct energy weapons and all that. So I tried to take it easy and just took my time. And I never worked that early in the morning in my life, ever. I have gotten off from work around that time, but to start work at that time, well, I have, and when I got here in 2019, there were jobs where, that temp service job where I, through Landrum at the Grand Hotel, and I was workplace mob there with just a few guys with the dishwashing job. And they made all kinds of false accusations against me, so I quit that job. They workplace mobbed me off that job, and they were secretly conspiring behind my back to fire me anyway. But that's a different topic. But anyway, back to this one. So 7:30 came, and I heard some kind of. It wasn't a bell, but it was some noise, alarm or whatever. And so they're like, "Okay, y'all, 10-minute break." So I thought they said 15-minute break. And I'm like, did I hear right? Did they say 10-minute break? And so then we all went into the break room all at the same time. And all I had enough time to do was get me a bottle of water to drink. But when I was there at 4:30, I'm sorry, 4 o'clock, I got me 2 packs of peanut butter crackers and an apple juice out the snack machine. And I'm like, no way, this ain't gonna hold me over, but I try to get like a sandwich or something out the snack machine. That machine didn't work, but so then I bear with me because I'm sleep deprived, and I'm sorry that I'm in the dark. I mean, me being in the dark, this would take less space of my phone data. So that's why I'm doing it in the dark, and I might need more than 25 minutes. I'm hoping not to have more than 25 minutes, but so you know, my anxiety is really high. I'm really nervous right now. So then 7:30 came, and then 7:35 everybody was getting back up and leaving. So they had this lady that was she had like a faded red / pinkish. I mean, I couldn't tell whether it was faded red or a pink sleeveless shirt. And she left like around 2 or 3 minutes later. And I said, wait a minute, we just gotten here at 7:30 or whatever. And I'm like, why everybody leave 5 minutes late? She said, she got an attitude. It was 10 minutes, you know. And so then, she said, it was 10 minutes. Like, got an attitude with me, And I'm like, well, wow. This person said that to me like as if they were familiar with me, like they know me or something, And so then it was a little bit after 8 o'clock, and I tried to look for the boss and couldn't find her. So me being sleep deprived, overwhelmed, I'm disabled, and everything like that, So I know I didn't get to tell all that because everything seemed so rushed, So then I'm like, well, I thought that by law, other jobs, including this permanent one right here, I was told that by law, I thought that we are guaranteed, like for part-time, I thought you were guaranteed about a 15-minute break after every 2 or 2.5 hours or something. Not no doggone 10-minute, but 15-minute break. And then if you're working full, I think you get 2 15-minute breaks if you're working 4 or 5 hours or something like that. I could be wrong. But then full-time jobs, if you're working 8 hours, you guarantee 2 15-minute breaks plus a 30-minute break. So I'm sitting here thinking, no way, we only got 5 doggone minutes. So then so then they had this. I mean, I went to use the bathroom. I don't remember what time it was. Probably before 7 o'clock. I went to use the bathroom. So anyway, it was about 8:05 or something. 8:05 or close to 8:10, between there. And my feet were hurting so bad. It was getting hot. I was sweating. I was tired. And I've been suffering days of sleep deprivation. Due to this targeting and directed energy weapons and all that. Y'all know with the targeting and stuff. And me trying to fight to be less of a burden. Trying to fight to be less of a burden. And fighting to avoid the streets. And, the idea that people don't want to help me and stuff, So I try to take the burden off of people and try to take a second job because the perps don't want to allow me to make a living off of my writings. The short stories, the blog, the Ko-fi, or none of that. They're trying to prevent that. And they wouldn't allow me to get to a point where I can get my YouTube videos monetized. Oh, they'll make sure my channel is shut down before then. They don't want to allow you to make any money making opportunities or be independent. So I took it upon myself to go, because I felt like this ain't right. That they only give you 5-minute break. And so then I went to go I took it upon myself to go take my own doggone break, 15-minute break. And then there was another guy. He was telling me that he was telling me that there's so much corruption and that's pretty much screwed up. Oh, over at that job, and that they really don't do nothing right. And he said, well, it is a 10-minute break. And I'm like, what? I never heard of that. So it's a mindless, tedious job where you're standing on your feet doing the same one mundane task. It's like working in like a textile. I never in my life really worked in a warehouse. It's more like a textile factory, warehouse kind of thing. And it was too overwhelming for me. So then they had this person. I thought she would, like any other job, she would have been called like a team leader. I knew she wasn't the manager, but she had an attitude with me and aggressively demanded an answer for where I went for 15 minutes. And I told her I went to the break room. Oh, you don't, because, wait a minute. Earlier, yeah, it was earlier before that. I try to ask her about the 10-minute break or whatever. And before I can say much or anything, she said with an attitude, you already had your 10-minute break. And it was only doggone 5 minutes. So then, I didn't like her attitude with me. I think it was close to 8 o'clock when she said that. Oh, you already had your 10-minute break, with an attitude, like they're so familiar with me, like they know me or something, when they don't. So then I went to, I felt like I needed, with my disability and stuff, and Asperger's and all that, I felt like I was too overwhelmed, and I felt like I needed a timeout or a break or something, And so I went and took my own doggone 15-minute break. And I figured, well, I'll just explain to the actual manager whenever I can see her again. So when I came back, I didn't know the so-called team leader was called the table girl or something. And she aggressively demanded an answer for where I went for 15 minutes. And I said I went to a break room. Oh, you can't just go and take breaks like that whenever you feel like whatever. So then, I explained to her that I'm new here. This is my first day. I'm disabled and whatever. And so I forgot everything that was said. And so she's like, got an attitude like, so what? They got a lot of people that's new. A lot of people here that's their first day. And so, then, I don't remember what else I said, but then her response was, oh, well, this isn't the job for you. If you're overwhelmed and you're disabled or whatever, well, then this isn't the job for you, And she said, oh, you can't just go and walk off, whatever. And I said, well, I do what I want. Because she acted like a narcissistic, self-righteous bully. And I do not respect narcissistic abusers or gang stalkers. So then when I went to the manager and I told her what happened, and I explained my situation, and I said, well, I'm apologize. I know everything's so rushed. It's the first day. I didn't get to tell you that I'm disabled and have certain limitations and stuff. And I told her the exchange between me and the so-called table girl. And and so the manager falsely accused me of being out in the break room longer than being on the floor working. And like, how could you say that if it was just 15 extra doggone minutes? You know, because I was originally supposed to work from 4 o'clock till, well, I was told to start from 4 o'clock till 10:30. But you know, it ended up being like, you know, a few little hours. So the manager, I mean, I didn't fly off the handles or nothing, but I was, you know, triggered and upset that the manager falsely accused me of being unfair to others. And you know, I mean, I've dealt with workplace mobbing and stuff, and workplace bullying. And then they had the female who, with the red tank, the faded red tank top. It was after I had to talk with the manager, and I was, you know, trying to fight to stick with it, trying to fight to stay longer, and trying to fight to push through and continue to work. And then they had, like, we were putting the old used napkins from the restaurants in the conveyor belt. And so then they had like a longer, I couldn't tell whether it was a longer or a bigger cloth napkin than the rest of the ones, because they had a few little foreign items in some of those bins. So then after that, you know, she walked over there and got an attitude with me and rolled her eyes at me and told me, and falsely accused me of trying to put the bigger piece of cloth through the conveyor belt, when I said I wasn't trying to do that. I was just, you know, I was looking at it and trying to figure out where it goes. You know, before I can even, I mean, all I did was, when I picked it up out of the thing and I just looked at it and I tried to straighten it out and I was gonna put it in the other little bin or something, where the other girl was confused and was asking where to put a white towel or a white cloth or something, and I was trying to put it where she put that, you know. And so then she came behind the bully, like as if I'm too dumb to understand my on my own, you know, try to say, well, oh no, you don't put that in there. I said, well, I wasn't trying to, you know. So then I felt like anymore I was gonna cuss somebody out or lash out. So I went and told the boss that, you know, I'm gone. And so then the bully ran behind me, the bully coworker, because it was like 3 females that freaking mobbed on me today. And the bully had ran right behind me when I told the boss about her. And then she maliciously falsely accused me of trying to put the thing in the conveyor belt. And I said, no, I wasn't. I said, I just pulled the thing out of pulled the cloth, the bigger size cloth out of the bin, and I didn't realize it was bigger until after I pulled it out, because they were all the same color and looked alike. So then, you know, because she tried to order me around and tell me what to do, and then get an attitude and roll her eyes like she's frustrated and disgusted with me, or like she can't stand me, or like she don't like me or something. So then, I don't know if the manager was trying to say that I'm the one causing tension on the floor or what. But so I'm like, I gotta go, you know. And even the manager was trying to say, oh, well, this job isn't a good fit for you and stuff like that. No, give us our fucking 15-minute break. Give us our 15-minute break. You know, that we're like, you know, and then, I mean, and so it's like, even with this job, they try to make it like, if I report like the gang stalking coworkers bullying me, they're trying to make it like, oh, don't look at that way. Oh, they're just trying to help you get what you need to get the job going or something. Try to make excuses and try to make like as if the gang stalking coworkers don't mean any harm. And they try to gaslight and make it like as if I just, paranoid and think everybody's out to get me and stuff. And it happened with other jobs too, like with the Roderick guy from Seville Quarter. They try to make like, oh, he was just trying to help you. No, I know doggone workplace mobbing and bullying. When a bossy coworker want to walk over to you and try to dictate and tell you what to do. And then you ain't trying to help me if you roll your eyes like you're disgusted and frustrated with an attitude and look like you want to whip my ass or something. So then I called an Uber because I felt like I didn't feel like being more agitated taking a doggone bus. So I just called the Uber and got over here early. And then I'm going to try to order me something to eat. And so now, I tried with the second job. I tried. So I feel like I'm not biting my tongue exposing gang stalking activities. If people want to say that, oh, you're giving the perps what they want and stuff, being so scared. So now I'm being bold and now I'm everybody's enemy. So, and people will feel like, well, you're always complaining about your coworkers. Every job you work at, obviously you're the problem. No, it's the other way around. That coworker, she was all the way on the other side, and she could have and should have minded her own business. And I explained to the manager that I was not trying to put that extra big piece of cloth through there. But they're glad to get rid of me, though. They're glad to have gotten rid of me. And the fake table girl, the narcissistic fake table girl, telling me, oh, this isn't the place for you, and look me up and down, like, and then it seemed like as if she's one of those people that's she'll never be the damn manager. But she's narcissistic enough that she worships her doggone position, and then try to pretend to fake work faster than everybody else. She was just doing the most and doing too much. I'm like, come on, it ain't that doggone serious. That you worship the doggone job, and and you can tell she trying hard to get up there with that management position. So, and my nose was running all morning long, and part of my nose, I don't know why it hurts, and I can't pinpoint where my nose hurts at, but it hurts. And then on my right arm, there's a light bruise that you kind of can barely see it, but there's a painful bruise that I don't know how I got on my arm, and it might be from the doggone directed energy weapons. So I try to be calmer and talk lower, because my second day at this job, I went in the bathroom and I was frustrated and agitated, and they were trying to run me off this job, and I was frustrated and agitated. And so the manager said that they heard me throughout the whole building. So now I'm not in the heat of the moment. I'm away from the other job. So I'm not calmer now, but I guess I'm having a little more self-control now, I guess, So, the constant complaints come from the gang stalking bully coworkers, the narcissistic gang stalking bully coworkers, And I didn't really get any sleep. I tried but couldn't. And so then I was even working on a couple of blog topics that I was writing and working on, even at 4 something this morning, 4 or 5 something this morning, maybe about 5:30. I was working on writing a couple of blog topics. I didn't put them on my blog yet because I'm not finished. So, man, so it looks like, I tried what I could on my end. And I don't know, at this permanent job, I don't know what's going to happen today. I don't know what's going to happen today. But, I'm trying to fight to stay. I didn't even get to last the whole day of the temp job. I didn't even get to last the whole day, the whole work day, So, I'm scared of being back on the streets. I put my best foot forward and I at least tried. Despite being sleep deprived, I tried to stick as long as I could, as long as I could bear. And so now I gotta be forced to see about asking for help with $365 this 1 week. And it will be due tomorrow, or else I have to be back on the streets. And then the work paycheck from this permanent job is not until next week. So, it's not until next week. So, shucks, I could have worked and got paid, today, tomorrow, and Friday, and a few other days. Even next week. But, the temp job could have helped me with food and transportation. At least food and transportation. And then the permanent job could have helped me with the permanent job could have helped me with, the 365 a week. So, I did not last long on that. And then the online perps will falsely say that Candy does not want to work and stuff when I've been trying. And, I have a bachelor's degree. And they want me to shut up about my bachelor's degree and try to falsely accuse me of being arrogant when I've had no choice but to take minimum wage or barely above minimum wage jobs. And me being disabled and, just can't last nowhere because of the gang stalking and workplace mobbing. And I showed y'all in the previous video about the gang stalking co-workers. The gang stalking employees there with the Acura SUV and one bottom headlight, and then that same vehicle had no license plate. And people like that, yeah, workplace mob. And those are the same people who try to lecture you about bad behavior or unprofessionalism or your tantrums after they riled you narcissistically, perked you and riled you up and provoke you to anger, provoke you to lash out, And then it's easier to be more sensitive to lashing out when you're sleep deprived, even though it's harder and you try to fight with all your might to have self-control. So I tried. So, because I felt like with the 365 a week and me getting paid $12.50 an hour over here, I felt like there's no way in hell I could survive or make it, and I've been trying to also fight to look for permanent housing or affordable housing, and I heard it's bad everywhere, not just here. So I heard it's a housing crisis all over the country. So my nose is runny, but I didn't want to use up too much extra of my data. So, I'm really scared, and I don't have a sleep spot now on the streets, and uh, um, I'm overwhelmed, and even the manager herself said that type of job is not for everybody. It seems like you got to be just a quiet slave robot doing the same tedious one task for several hours. Just one task of putting, dirty, use dirty cloth napkins through a conveyor belt. And it's like, well, they said laundry. I thought that you would be putting stuff in a washing machine and dryer. But nope. I don't know what the hell kind of weird warehouse factory job that was. It reminded me of when we were in Greenville, South Carolina. Well, when I was in Greenville, South Carolina, and they had this job, I don't remember the name of the company, but it was this job where you clean chickens, and you were forced to work hours, long hours, and the boss didn't allow you to have any breaks at all, or use the bathroom. And I'm surprised people were working that job, maybe because they couldn't get anything else or find anything else. So, yeah, that's kind of almost what this job kind of reminds me of, you know. So, but I'm disabled and felt like I was going to have like a breakdown or a meltdown. So I felt like I needed to take, and having Asperger's syndrome and all that, like I felt like I needed to have a time out. I didn't know what was gonna happen to me, So I gotta go.